Okay. So our first review of the day is going to be a spoiler review, and it's going to be for Zach Cregger's sophomore film, Weapons. Now, I already reviewed Weapons this past Wednesday. I'm planning to upload that soon there on YouTube, youtube.com, the afternoon tune there. But this is the spoiler review for this film. So if you have not seen this film, first, I highly recommend you check it out. I think it is very good. But we're going to discuss the ending of it and all kind of the details of the movie there. So if you have not seen it, I recommend clicking off this and going watching it and then come back. I'm going to upload this on YouTube also as well after I upload the initial review of it. But I really liked it, really enjoyed it. I gave it a peek there along with my co-host Neil at the time. But I didn't hear Mike's thoughts on Weapons. So before we get into sports talk, Mike, what were your thoughts on Weapons?
Weapons was one of the best theater movie experiences I've had in quite some time. One of my favorite horror movies of the year. Maybe only probably beat up by Sinners, but it's definitely up there. Incredibly refreshing movie, and you can see why there was such a high bidding war for this, and why Jordan Peele was so mad that his agent just kind of like left it. But yeah, it's a movie that honestly I would like recommend just as highly as Sinners as seeing it in theaters, if that makes sense. Because it's like you're not going to see another movie like this in theaters for a while, of this originality and this kind of uh moment in the culture. It's something you really like. If you want the full benefit, see it in theaters, go in blind if you can. But we're not talking about like blind reactions now, but because this is a spoiler review. But yeah, honestly, Weapons like came out of nowhere, was really just loved it.
Mm, yeah. Do you think? You think we should compare it to Barbarian, or you think each his own's good, right?
I think Barbarian would be a good comparison. Uh, the vibe I got from this, though, the most of it is I weirdly got. He even admitted this. He said it was like inspired by Mongolia to a degree. Especially, you could really see it with like the John C. Riley and the cop character in this. uh, but with I was also kind of reminded of kind of like Barbarian, of like a earlier Wes Craven kind of movie, kind of vibe of like the people under the stairs and stuff, like the one. What's that one movie where a a, a crew switches like the brain of a killer robot into a girl, and just like more high concept weird horror. I don't want to say elevated horror because that term kind of gets thrown around a lot these days, but horror in a sense of like this is a pure original idea, and it's more fairy tale in terms of approach. It's like I was even thinking like this might have potentially been like a almost like a piper kind of inspiration, because of like one night all the children just disappear at the exact same time and they go to this one house.
Mm. And the amount of production that this movie was in, and then there were people that were cast initially that dropped out of the project, had to leave due to scheduling conflicts. One of them being Pedro Pascal. He was supposed to be the Josh Brolin role, but he had to drop out for Fantastic Four. There, and this they show kind of the list of people that were supposed to initially play the characters in the movie. Hold on, let me show it real quick. So right here, so you had I don't think I've heard. So she's supposed to be the Julia Garner character. Rich Meskin is supposed to be the character. Tom Burke, who is in Furiosa, is supposed to be the Aaron Rodgers character. And then Ryan Coogler is supposed to be the principal character there. So that's initially who was cast in the film there.
I'd say for the most part, like I think I do like a lot of the original casting, especially Brian. Sorry, it's kind of loud.
I'm sorry, you broke up here a little bit.
Well,
No, we. I'm sorry.
It was the sound from the Facebook thing.
Oh, that's what it was. Oh, I'm sorry.
No, you're good. But I do like a lot of the original cast that they had, especially Brian Tyler Henry as Benedict Wong's character. What was it? His name wasn't Arthur, was it? The
Uh,
principal.
Let me see what his character's name was. Marcus.
Marcus, yeah. I think that would have been really good too. However, I'm not just saying this because he's in like pretty much every movie now. I think if Pedro Pascal was in this, I think we wouldn't really have that more conflicting level of intensity that Josh Brolin really brings here, which I really love. Just Josh Brolin's just rage and frustration, but also his just irrational side. I don't think that would have hit as hard because in this, like he's like a bulldozer, just like going through and just like. But when you see him break down in his kid's room, it's so effective.
Mm, yeah. I mean, don't you think that kind of Pedro Pascal does that as Joel in Last of Us a little bit?
A little. I think from what I've seen of him as Joel is that he's still like a bit too. Still seems a bit like a tad stunt casty to a degree. Like he's still a bit softer and a bit nicer.
Mm, oh,
But
yeah.
yeah, I just really like Josh Brolin's just sheer force of like just him going forward like a bull, and then when he just like it's such a effective when you see him just break down and cry and just you see the vulnerability behind him.
Mm. I mean, because essentially, I said in the review, he's kind of playing Hugh Jackman's role, like in Prisoners.
Mm,
There, a lot of that kind of I saw a lot of similarities there with that. With it. But yeah, I think he's really great in the movie. Julie Garner's, I think, really great in this as teacher, and then stuff gets revealed about her throughout of it, and she's got a lot of problems. And
mhm.
there's a lot of similarities to Barbarian if you've seen both movies, like the Zach Cregger uses again.
Yeah,
Um, there and the kind of storytelling devices there, like plays with time in it, and we see different perspectives, and it all kind of adds up to the grander story there because you see all these different character POVs
mhm.
in weapons. It all adds up there. Um, so for me, I mean, I think Zach Cregger is 2 for 2.
Yeah.
Hopefully he doesn't slide off like Ari Aster, and then I was like, oh shit, what the fuck happened?
Yeah.
There.
Yeah, Justin Lon's also in both of these, so maybe that's just his guy. Maybe it's just his cameo man. But
Yeah. And I think somebody said this is the first time Justin Long has been in a horror movie. He hasn't died in it.
oh yeah,
It's been so hey, good for Justin Long, man. Spoilers. There with this movie. So the setup of the movie there, you got it with all of these kids. They've gone missing. They're trying to investigate what happened. I think they say it was 13 kids, right? 13 kids in total that they all just got up and just ran out their house. They all did that weird ass run with their arms
Naruto run.
and Naruto run out the house into the darkness. Nobody knows where these kids are. Nobody knows where these kids went. And they're doing the best investigation of it. But except all the kids from the same classroom, except one kid by the name of Alex. There, he's played by Carrie Christopher, who also does a really great job. This kid of when he gets his moment, his POV, also is really great there. But so it turns out that there's this witch, I guess, demon witch, I guess, kind of woman, I guess you would say, who's the relative of Alex, who's coming to visit his family, his mom and dad, and I think she's the aunt on his mother's side,
Mhm.
Aunt Gladys there, and she. I don't think they do. They ever really explicitly say, just like she's dying, she's sick, so
Yeah,
she's like, I guess, trying to like take the energy of these people to heal herself. Um,
something like that. It's kept very vague. It's kept very fairy tale esque, even if she is related or not to uh, Alex by blood, or if she's just someone who just kind of forced her, like just manipulated her way into here.
Mm, yeah. So yeah, she comes and so she says like the parents aren't enough. I need something more, and then that's when she gets Alex to help her because the way her kind of magic works is she needs kind of like voodoo. She needs like items from each person, and then she infuses it with her blood, and then she does like this little ritual, and she puts it on a stick and breaks the stick and everything like that. That's like allows her to control people. And then so she's the one that lured all the kids to the house. Again, it's kind of kept kind of vague of what she's gonna do with the kids. Like, is she gonna eat the kids? Is she gonna?
Mhm.
like just keep the kids in the basement. Like it's kind of just vague there what you're kind of gonna do with them. Um, but what do you think about that whole aspect of the movie?
I really like that. I really like how just kind of because it we do meet Aunt Glass as the villain is mostly from Alex's point of view. And while she is first introduced, she's just plopped into the world when it is from the principal's point of view. But with Alex, we see what more Aunt Glass is about, and because that's the most information we get, but we still get it from a child's point of view. And so it's just a great way of like conveying like childlike fear of like there's a general set of rules and what her deal is, but still so much of it is kept hidden from Alex. A lot of it kind of weirdly reminded me of I'm not sure if you saw this movie, Spiderweb, uh, or no, Cobweb. That what it was called. Uh,
Cobweb? No, I
yeah,
don't haven't seen it.
it's Anthony Starr's in it. But it's about a boy and two of his parents, and he thinks like he plans on killing his parents because they think they are hiding his like a secret from him, like a hidden like sibling, and she's down in the basement, and it's a story like that. Like it's almost like a childlike version of horror.
Hmm.
And it's just, oh yeah, it was produced by from the producers of Barbarian. But yeah, it does a great way of conveying that, and that also has a teacher kid dynamic. And uh, yeah, other people have mentioned it is kind of similar to other Stephen King stories of just when it is you do see a story from like a kid's point of view. I think it is because we've kind of overdosed on like the Stranger Things kids influence. Just like they're too smart and too like okay, they're written by adults. We get that at this point, but yeah, there's that level of like, no, kids can like. I felt like a real sense of like, oh, Alex can get really hurt in this movie
Mm,
if he's not careful. And you feel that anxiety he has and just the unfairness he gets treated with.
mm. So so we've overcorrected. I know people saying kids were too dumb in movies now. What kids are too smart in movies now? You think?
Yeah, I think like just we've had too many kids talk like young adults in movies now. Uh, the Halloween ends that the kid at the start of that, it's just like I just want him to be punched in the face the whole the first 5 minutes.
And he's Alex is a what grader? It's like fifth
I think
grade,
they're in
third
third
grade.
grade, so he'd be like 8, maybe 9.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Third grade class that he's
Yeah, yeah. I do like that all these people, none of them are bad people explicitly, but they're all very human, despite how outlandish the premise is. Uh, like the teacher, what was her name again?
in. It was Justine.
Justine, yeah, the teacher Justine, who she clearly like, she has a few problems with alcohol, and she is kind of they do talk like she might be a bit unprofessional as a teacher. She might like overstep some bounds, even though she has a really good heart. And we see just the whole aspect from her point of view was one of my favorites. I was kind of bummed when we switched point of view from her to Josh Brolin at first, because she was so interesting and likable, and you want to see more of this character. The Barbarian movie does a similar thing with all three of the characters, to a degree, and I do really like how Barbarian does it. I think this was just as effective, if not a bit more so, because I was shocked of just how well we just transitioned from one character to the next and just seeing their point of view with it. Uh, in the moment Aunt Glass shows up, there's just a real sense of like genuine horror and dread.
Mm. Did you think it was a little over the top with Anne Glass? 'Cause some people are comparing it to like what Nicolas Cage, like Long Legs, like that.
Maybe I think that can be a thing, but like I think it's also like she is very much presenting herself to make her seem less of a threat and just kind of and it's like she's emotionally draining as a person to the point where you just say, "Yeah, come in," and stuff like that. And that is how she kind of got away so far, just like being so overbearing to the fact that a lot of people just was just like, it will be easier if we just kind of work around this. And yeah, she is the titular parasite of this whole, uh, like series movie.
Mm. And yeah, so you got Aunt Gladys there, who's the kind of main one responsible. Then you learn that Alex has been living in this house, with her while she's doing all these rituals, all these spells. We see all these different POVs of these people. So it's all adding up to pieces of the puzzle that are coming together to figure out one, what's happening to these kids, and two, the conclusion of, like you see that Josh Brolin's doing a lot of investigative work of like, okay, the kids all seem like they ran in just like one direction, like they all
Mhm.
just ran straight to it. Like what's at that end point there? And I thought that was kind of pretty good. I like how they did keep it vague of what was kind of going on exactly with Aunt Gladys and what she was kind of doing. Did you see that movie Together? Did you see that?
What year did they come out this year?
Yeah, it was
No,
the movie with Dave Franco and Allison Brie.
no. I didn't.
Okay. One of my issues with that movie is that I felt like it over-explained too much, of, like, what was going on with them and why what was happening to them, what was happening, and it kinda just, like, I feel like you really don't need to do that so much in horror, like, you can kinda just leave it open-ended. Did you want a more solid kinda theory of, like, what she was or what she was doing, or
I think for this is really good. Of just you don't need that much. You don't need just like it seems like there's a bigger mystery behind her that there are answers to. However, you're not going to get them because this is just it's a woman who just pops up here and it's more like soft and it's kind of like world to a degree. Again, it does remind me so much of a fairy tale of like we're not going into the specific mechanics of here's kind of a vague idea of what happens.
Mm, yeah. Did you think 'cause, Aunt Glass is played by, Amy Madigan.
Mhm.
They're completely kinda unrecognizable
Oh
in
yeah.
this character there. Did you love what she did with the character? Did you
Yeah,
like
I
it?
really like this. She just felt like a person you might meet who's just like a bit too like as mentioned, like overbearing, just like kind of like an emotionally draining person. Kind of what's his name? The bald guy from What We Do in the Shadows, like an energy vampire. She just
Oh.
drains you.
Uh, oh, yeah, I know that character, yeah. Yeah, I thought she was, yeah, really good too, and also very scary,
Mhm.
as far as that goes. And then also, the way her character ends up, so Alex is able to, kinda outsmart her, I guess you would say, and then she's able to, like, take her wig, take which is an item of hers. He sees her doing the whole ritual beforehand, so that already sets up the thing of what he knows what to do. And he's able to take all the kids that she had initially under her spell, because like when the people are under her spell, they're like in a catatonic state. They don't speak, they don't say anything. They're just puppets essentially. But he's able to do that, and then they all chase after her and run after her, eventually catching her and just ripping her apart.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Favorite scene in the movie. That is a scene I was glad I was mostly spoiler free of at the moment. Just all those kids just barrel through. I was like, oh my, yeah. Funny enough, I think without that scene, you could probably get away with maybe this movie being PG-13.
Mm. Yeah, I think for the most part, yeah, because really isn't. I mean, it's not. I mean, well, there's two really gory moments, that the ending and then the Benedict Wong
Yeah.
scene are the two probably most gory elements of the movie, probably.
Yeah,
And
I think the Benedict Wong scene might be the most, but like that, it's impressed. Uh, what was Doctor Sleep rated again?
I could check. I think that let me see what it was rated. Um, let's see here. What was the rating for this movie? But in the meantime, I looked this up real quick. Um, yeah, so with it, yeah, besides those two scenes, I think yeah, for the most part, it could have been just a yeah PG-13 movie. Also, what was kinda like so was Aunt Gladys kinda just haunting, like, the various other people because they were getting close to her? Is that why she was doing that?
Yeah, I
Like,
think
she
so. I think she was just haunting them because it's also like, well, they're getting a bit too close. And Aunt Glass seems like, well, if this happens, if this is how they die through someone else's means, they have no way to tie this to me because it just looks like an insane person going on like a rampage.
yeah. 'Cause she haunts the drug addict. You
Mhm.
see the scene where she haunts the teacher,
Oh yeah,
and then
uh,
she haunts,
yeah.
Josh
His
Brolin.
performance was amazing. The drug addict kid.
Yeah. He's the only person I think that stayed on from the initial cast that Zach Cregger had, like, he stayed with the whole
Yeah,
project and everything like that.
I
Uh,
think he works really well because he looks like an actual kind of druggie to a degree of like his skin's a bit dirty, he has like dirt under his nails, and after he gets beat up by the cop with the mustache, the young Han Solo guy, he has a big welt that kind of just slowly goes away. He's got like injections in his arm. He's wearing like a lot of baggy shit on him, and he's not a bad person. Like he's not an awful guy. Though it's clear, it's just like this is kind of the reality of a lot of druggies to a degree, and just the whole man. As someone who has spent his life in the Midwest, I've seen plenty of these guys entering the gas station of like a 17-year-old kid just asking for money as I go inside to like get liquor.
yeah. And by the way, Doctor Sleep was R-rated. By
Okay,
the way. Yeah. But yeah, this is him in it. Yeah, greasy looking. Uh,
great hair, perfect.
yeah. So yeah, very very kept there. He was things Walking Dead. He was in before.
Nice.
He was in that. This is Us. He was in that before. Euphoria.
Mhm.
He was in
Nice. Just a more realistic Euphoria.
that. But yeah. Uh, any POV that you liked less than others, or
Mm. God, that's tough. I think they are all so strong. Uh, I think maybe the one that just doesn't build up the most might be. I think I would say maybe Josh Brolin, but then again, he was still so good in that it's it never got to a point where I was disinterested in that character or like didn't like them. Uh, yeah, I the guy who played the cop in this gave a really good, just intense performance of just uh like what this kind of asshole's like life would be. Of the main five, he's probably the most deplorable of them.
yeah, Alden Ehrenreich.
Yeah.
Yeah, he plays the cop in that. People saying I guess he was in movie Jail after Solo. I guess.
Mm.
Um,
Mhm. He was in uh Cocaine Bear.
yes.
Yeah, not a good movie.
I don't know. I thought it was. Hey, it was the movie called Cocaine Bear. There was a bear on cocaine. I mean, hey,
Yeah,
delivered what it was.
you got what you wanted, kids. Yeah,
But
great.
yeah,
Yeah, he has John C. Reilly's mustache from Benjolia.
yeah. Kind of got like kind of John C. Riley kind of head a little bit.
Mhm.
But yeah, so he did well. I think as the kind of psycho kind of cop there, and you learn about his relationship with Julia Garner, how they kind of intersect and
Mhm.
like that, which was really good. But yeah, I think all the POVs are
Mhm.
strong. Did you have a favorite one or?
Oh my god. So maybe maybe Justine's or Alex.
Hmm,
It's also with Alex, you just feel so bad for that kid.
yeah, he's just stuck in his house. He has to feed his parents
Yeah,
soup.
yeah. Because
Uh,
there was an interview of Zach Cregger talking about this afterwards about like how when he approached Alex, he kind of it was somewhat autobiographical because he grew up with alcoholic parents, and it's just like kind of the idea of like the kid trying to have to like take care of himself to a degree, and that scene of just again like when you talk about like realistic kids in movies, uh Alex gives that kind of realistic, kind of like quiet kid thing. Where it's like he's got a good heart, but like he doesn't want to get too involved. And like when he has to like open up that can of soup, it's like, yeah, kids opening a can of soup is tough for them, especially with just like that shitty can opener.
but he's feeding all the people there. He's feeding his parents. He's feeding the kids there with soup. Um, and then after the woman dies, you learn that some of them snapped out of it,
Mhm.
some of them didn't. Like some of them stayed in that state, I guess, forever, or as far as we know.
I do
Uh,
also like that it with Josh Brolin's kid, his name is Arthur, that he's the kid who was like bullied Alex earlier in the movie. And we do see it later on. Like, oh, he's got kind of a dick kid. Just
oh yeah, he does have. Yeah, I was like, well, maybe his kid kind of deserved it. Maybe I don't know.
yeah. But yeah, I do like that as well, where it's just like, yeah, the more they're not gonna be over the top bad. This was kind of my issue with the monkey movie. I hated the first like opening of the monkey, despite how much I liked the performances from the mom and like later on in the movie. I hate the first third of that movie.
Mm. Yeah, Tatiana Maslany. Yeah, who's
Yeah,
the
yeah. Because
mother.
like I get that these are like more exaggerated, cartoonish Stephen King bully kids, but it's just like I don't know. I've seen like actual like bully kids and stuff like that in real life. It's just like they're just kind of like dweebs for the most part. It's like kids can get really cruel, but that's like more middle school to high school to degree. It's just like I just wanted one of those kids to just get like I don't know, just like I just found those kids annoying to the point like as an adult, it's just like
Hmm. And Zach Cregger, he's talked about, I don't know, possibly a prequel. Would you want to see that?
if we did, I wanted to go in a very different kind of weird direction. Weirdly, I think uh the movie's Split. I think that would be kind of an interesting kind of approach to it. I was just like, oh, here's what's also happening in this universe to a degree.
Mhm. It's supposedly, I mean, this is just rumors that maybe prequel gonna come with Aunt Gladys's character.
Mhm.
If
Yeah,
they
because she
did
is
this,
implied to be like potentially hundreds of years old with some words she used.
mm, I mean, it feels like that would kind of ruin the mystique a little bit with the
Mhm.
character if they did that, and kind of ruin one of the kind of good things, like one of the great things about the movie. I don't
Mhm.
know, but
Yeah.
maybe he could do it in a way that really works and really.
Mhm. Yeah, this is a great movie to see in theaters for the first, especially with a good crowd. I had a really good crowd. Uh, I can imagine this not playing super well if you had like I don't know, kind of like young teenage crowd or whatever the fuck of just like yeah, of just like you're kind of ruining the movie with your commentary. I will say, kind of the one thing is that like there were some scenes in this movie that were so like dark from a lighting point of view, where it's just like I can't see a ton of stuff here. Like where's the kid? Like there's some things that would have been a lot creepier if I could see the characters a bit better.
Mm. What scene are you talking about? Like,
I think one of the classroom scenes, but also the scene where Josh Brolin was like going down to the basement.
oh yeah, yeah, but that kind of added to it when the she
Mhm.
kind of jumps out. Yeah, that was pretty good. I mean, and there's so many moments that like set up for a jump scare that you think is going to happen, but then it doesn't happen, and kind of adds to the
Yeah.
tension of the
Mhm.
movie. I think Zach Cregger is really great at that, like tension.
Oh yeah. Yeah. How do you think Jordan Peele will have tackled this? Because he really wanted to direct this movie because there was like a bidding war with this, and
Well, I think he wanted to produce it, right? He just wanted to produce.
oh,
He
okay. I
wanted a
thought it was
monthly
he wanted
profit.
to direct it because I remember he fired like his agent after he didn't get it. They're like, make the number higher, and they're like, okay, we're not doing that. He's like, okay, you're fired.
Yeah, I think he just wanted to produce. I don't think
Okay.
he was gonna like take over and direct it.
Hmm.
And but he does have that movie he's coming out producing called Him.
Oh yeah, yeah. Totally forgot about that.
Does that look pretty interesting to you? Or
Yeah, yeah. It looks interesting.
yeah. But yeah. So any last final thoughts on Weapons?
Uh, Great movie. Can't wait to see what Zach Cregger does next. I do think he's that era of kind of like movie maker from like comedy to film, but I think he does a great job of like encapsulating kind of weirder horror that has kind of been lost now. And I am really interested like what his like future premises are and just how he's able to tackle it. I would love to see any like if he did like a creep show kind of thing of just an anthology series
Mm,
of horror because this almost feels like its structure of like this can almost be like a short story to a degree, like a 15-minute thing.
mm, yeah. Mm. I loved it. You think it'll be on your list of favorite movies of the year?
Maybe depends. I think maybe like depends on how big my list is going to be.
Mm,
uh, but yeah, really good. I think I might like Barbarian a bit more. I tend to like the commentary in that a bit more. This has less of a noticeable commentary in comparison. But while it is different, I think movies like this and uh Sinners or Terrifier is like there's a lot more just weird out there horror that's becoming a lot more mainstream now. And the era of horror connected movies or just horror corporate movies to a degree seem to be like on their last legs.
mm.
Did your theater have a trailer for uh what was it? The Conjuring, like part 5?
Yes.
Yeah, it's like I'm not interested in that.
That's like with them in like the 80s or 90s or something like
Yeah.
that. Yeah. Well, I mean, we talked about horror icons before. I mean, Annabelle, I guess, is a
She's
horror.
yeah. Also, Megan 2, like that really bombed, didn't it?
Yeah, it didn't do as well as the first one.
Mm,
Yeah.
but yeah, yeah, there's that level of just like more calculated kind of corporate like horror And like I am more of a fan of kind of the more weird out there horror, which is made by. I think this is another thing that's kind of been lost of like we're having less just kind of weird people making movies now. Just there's more a hands-on approach from it from like corporations to a degree.
Mm. And it's nice that this is an original movie. It's doing really well.
Oh yeah,
Budget 38 million, box office 149 million
yeah,
so
yeah.
far.
I don't imagine this would be a terrible expensive movie to make.
So original movies is doing pretty well. Cause
Yeah.
Sinners was an original that was a big hit. F1 that movie was an original movie that did really well. So good. Bring Her Back I think did pretty
Mhm.
decently as well there.
Yeah.
Um,
Do you think this is going to be bigger than Sinners box office wise, or like have more of a return?
no, no,
Okay. Yeah.
nah, because like Sinners was.
That's
Let me
huge.
see.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was like more of a cultural phenomenon with that. I mean, people are somewhat doing it with weapons, like people doing TikToks with them running like the kids and shit like that.
Yeah.
So on a budget of like 90 to 100 million, supposedly with Sinners, it made a box office of 356.9 million. So it did pretty well there. Now I don't know what I mean financially because it's always like sometimes movies can have a because of the lesser budget, it could be more financially profitable there. Um, I don't know there with that with maybe weapons that's the case,
Mhm.
but yeah. So Sinners did really well. Is Sinners your favorite horror movie of the year?
Horror movies, yeah, I'd say it's probably up there. Maybe the only thing that rivals it in terms of horror is more the essential awkward horror of the movie Friendship with Tim Robinson.
Oh, yeah. That's pretty good there as well. And comedy wise, also I think that or Naked Gun are probably two of my favorite
Mhm.
comedies of the year.
Yeah, definitely. Again, you don't get a ton of comedy movies anymore in comparison.
Yeah. That woke kill comedy, man. You
Yeah,
didn't know that?
yeah. We're
Uh,
gonna make a we're gonna make like a thumbnail trail of like what how woke it's just gonna be us going like, and we're gonna have like uh Captain Marvel in the background for some reason. Just for like
well,
her eyes red. Just like
well, isn't the new person now Rachel Ziegler? Rachel Ziegler's the new thing now, ain't it?
yeah.
Yeah, you gotta have some crazy face of her now.
Yeah,
Uh,
DII, more like DII, dead comedy or whatever the fuck. Just
uh,
Snow Brown, even though Rachel Zegler's last name is like uber German.
yeah,
Like,
Ziegler. Yeah, that's a pretty German ass name. Damn, that's a huge ass cup. Holy shit.
oh
Uh,
yeah, it was a birthday gift from my sister.
oh, okay. All right. But yeah, and you gave it a peek or what?
Yeah, I gave it a peek.
Okay, peek there. I also give it a peek. Can't wait to see what Zach Cregger does next. I'm
Yeah,
anticipating.
yeah. As other white people may say, I am Prager for or whatever the fuck that meme was about.
Pregger for Zegger or pegging
Yeah,
Pregger, whatever the fuck that they were saying. I think people they also say with like gun, they do like hashtag reloaded the gun or
yeah.
hashtag
Gun don't jam.
gun don't jam or some shit. Like,
What are they gonna say like for Ryan Coogler?
uh,
It's we're getting cooler for Coogler, whatever.
some they'll make some which I don't know. I guess it's kind of funny. I guess when people do
Mhm.
that with the names there. But yeah, so two high peaks for weapons there.
Nice.
Oh, what real quick? Did you have any theory on what the gun was about in the dream? Did you have any theory on that?
Oh,
17.
I thought initially it was her weaponizing children to, almost like sell to the government. That's what I kind of thought it was going to. I think at the end, with everything we see, I think the gun for the children is kind of more meant to be like this is something that's just impacted children. It's like it's almost like a part of them is dead to a degree. Uh,
Mm,
but
okay.
Yeah, I know some people thought it was a school shooting metaphor, but there doesn't seem enough in that. If that, but it's more about like I think you can potentially read into that, but I think it's almost like too all encompassing because it's kind of just like how people react to tragedy.
Mm. Yeah, I thought it was kind of when I saw it, I was like, okay, is she kind of going to orchestrate some type of mass tragedy or something like that to feed off of, like she's like Pennywise or something, like feed off the town or something like
Mhm.
that with the kids. But yeah, so there's like a
Yeah.
gun in the dream, 217, which when you go to the theaters, the first showing for weapons will be, I think, 217 that
Nice.
which they do, which is pretty nice there. Yeah. So high praise for it. Go see it now while it's in theaters before you get spoiled on it.